Hello, everyone. This is going to be a very random, off the cuff thing. I'm just going to do a quick rant, and I have not prepared anything for it. No script, no research in advance. I've written no bullet points. You guys know if I don't have bullet points, at least to keep me structured, I tend to just ramble, and then sometimes I start repeating myself. So we're going to keep this very short and brief. But I need to do a rant on YouTube and content creation in generally. As you guys have noticed, I'm not as active as I used to be because I just don't feel the need to be, right? And I just want to say too, before I get into this rant, people who are channel members who support the channel monthly, I appreciate you guys so much, but it don't feel bad if you have to stop supporting the channel monthly. Like, I know I don't put out tons of content, so I feel bad almost like having you guys support me monthly, knowing that I can't put out tons of content like other people. But it means a lot to me, though, that you guys support me anyways in my work. And this is where I want to go on a rant. Okay, so I used to enjoy watching YouTube and different content creators of all different kinds, even crafting ones and like cooking channels and things like this, right? I used to enjoy it. There were lots of creators I enjoyed watching, and the same with just like regular content creators and things like this. Like there were channels I enjoyed watching. We all know that with the censorship push in 2016, 2017, a lot of changes were made to the platform YouTube that I think negatively affected it. And a lot of big creators left for various reasons, some due to censorship and being canceled, and some because you just get to a point where uh, perhaps it's not really worth it for you anymore. And I want to say that something has happened to these platforms that changed them. In the beginning, people were coming on here to like have a unique voice. It was called YouTube, right? Like you are talking about your opinions, your ideas, things you are doing. And along the way, that's changed. I think the monetization of YouTube and like content creation has negatively affected it because now it's no longer about, hey, I have this hobby or this one thing I'm really good at, or like I have expertise and I'm going to make videos talking about this subject that I am knowledgeable on, right? Like I'm informed about, that I have some type of something to offer people an opinion on it that is valuable, right? We are in the stage now where so many people are they're lazy. They want to do the least amount of work and make money. So a lot of people jump to content creation or being a YouTuber because they feel like, hey, that's a great way I can make money and I don't really have to put a lot of effort into it. Or at least that's what they think it is. Because a lot of people don't understand how much work actually goes into doing this. You guys get on me all the time about my audio lagging. You should see my setup. My lightings, I have lights here. I have a colored light back there. I have my camera set up on a tripod with my small rig. I've got my Yeti mic. I have this kind of desk. There's a lot of stuff that took a lot of time to set up, that costs money. That's not to get into the different expenses of things that you need to run a channel. Like you usually have some kind of graphics software that you pay for, like Canva or Photoshop to make your thumbnails. That's a monthly subscription. If you're live streaming, you're paying for something like StreamYard each month. If you are on multiple platforms, you're probably paying for something like Restream to have a subscription there to stream on multiple platforms. Some of these platforms, alternative platforms, have to charge people because they have to make money at some point, right? Like, so sometimes you're paying to stream on a platform. Maybe it's $100 a month or whatever. So you have all of this overhead. And at a certain point, it's like that doesn't even get into the time that it takes to prepare for a video. It could take hours to prepare research, to write a script, to actually record the video. Sometimes you make a mistake. You have to re-record a video maybe 2-3 times before you get it done right. Or you have to spend hours editing a video. So a 13-minute video that you're watching could have taken somebody 13 hours to prepare, and you just don't know that because you're only seeing the final finished product. You don't see all of the work and effort that goes into that. And so I think that for a lot of people, the YouTube no longer offers enough return on investment for people to do that. So you see a lot of like creators now, for example, they need to constantly pump out content. They have to put out a video every day because this is their career. And so they're reliant on these platforms to survive. They are financially dependent on constantly pumping out content and getting ad revenue from it. And so it gets to a point where maybe somebody who had really good something really good to say on this one thing, well, they're now in the position of, because they need to put out constant videos, they eventually have to start covering things that maybe they don't care about particularly. So you're listening to someone do a 20-minute video on something that it just feels, what's the word? Like it feels forced. It feels inauthentic. It feels strange, because you can tell. I think that people have a sense for this also. Like, humans have discernment, okay? We are spiritual beings. We can tell when somebody is talking about something because they're passionate about it and they care about it, versus where they're just like going through this performance to pretend that they're upset about something because, oh, this is the thing that we're talking about right now and that everybody is doing content on or videos on. So it's like whatever's in the news. They have to rush to get a video out on it to give everybody their hot take on it. And again, a lot of times it's like, then that video will get cut up into little shorts, and then you're bombarded with these shorts that accost you from these podcasts you've never heard of, people you don't know, who are, they're all sitting in a podcast studio having a conversation, and now we get tons of clips from this with this bright, bold text flashing on it, and it's like, who wants to be visually accosted by such a thing? And I go check out some of these bigger channels. You'll see it's just endless content, endless videos of them giving their opinions on, basically everything. And then taking those videos and splicing them up and then putting out these shorts. And I get that for creators, it's really important because you get buried in the algorithm to constantly, or at least to be frequently interacting with people, putting yourself out there. But I feel, I don't know, something has changed on these platforms, and I just feel like I don't enjoy them as much anymore. And when I look at content that feels forced, I feel bad. Like, I don't enjoy watching somebody talk about something that I don't think they actually care about or are interested in, where they know they're just going through this performance to give you their take on whatever the news is that day so they can get ad revenue in return or whatever. Or you see people that are constantly live streaming, sometimes for hours a day or at night for hours, and it's like, okay, what a value has come from that? You know what I mean? Like, you're not actually producing a good or a service that somebody can then use and retain value from. Like, this is why I started making my rose water spray, because I want to actually sell a product. I want to have something tangible that people can hold and say, oh yes, here, this person developed a skill and is now creating something of actual value that's tangible value, assets that are hard and physical and can be measured and quantified, right? I have X amount of inventory, so I have, you know what I'm saying? Like, content creation is ethereal. It isn't like that. It's literally just you having opinions and talking about things and relying on the fickle nature of an audience of people you don't know to continue to want to hear your opinions. And many of these creators find themselves having to eventually cater to their audience. They get so I guess they call it pigeonholed, like into one niche, one category, one thing, and then everybody wants to hear them just talk about this one thing. So if they try to go outside of the box, and sometimes their own audience will attack them, like, no, we came to this channel because we wanted to watch, this, and now you're talking about that. Like, and so people have to start, I don't know, like dancing like a monkey to get what tips from people, from other random people, and then they start dictating to you like what you should talk about. I just feel there's something so wrong about that. So that's why, for example, I don't stream a lot. I will live stream if in the rare instance I feel like I have something to talk about, or that I feel like my opinion would add value to this subject, like people hearing from me and my take on it. I understand there are some things where people want to know my thoughts on it, and I like doing that, but there are certain things I just don't particularly feel compelled to comment on. And I don't know. I don't understand people that get caught up in this. And I think it's very damaging and bad. And you see people just burning themselves out. Like in my video where I talked about YouTube is not a career, I was talking about how these people burn themselves out. They start out passionate, maybe doing a hobby or a craft, and then by the end of it, they're pumping out like video after video each day, and then they become the content, then they become a lolcow, whatever. Like that, I've seen that happen, or I've seen people become nasty people, like a little bit of e-fame goes to their head, and now all of a sudden they think that they're hot stuff or whatever. And they become arrogant, and they think that the gravy train is never going to end. They don't understand, number one, that they're on a gravy train, and they thought they built that, right? The things that they have, rather than an algorithm decided that you were allowed to grow to 250,000 subscribers or whatever it is. They get this inflated sense of self-worth because of their e-fame, and then that starts affecting how they are in real life. Like they assume that the internet is the real world when it isn't. And I've also just seen people burn out and like literally just disappear from the internet because it's too much to keep up with. You're on a constant wheel of creating content, and then you never know, is this going to be something that gets suppressed by the algorithm? Is this something that's going to go well? Like you don't even know. And so people just tailor and conform themselves to not only what the audience wants, but what the platforms and algorithms want. And ultimately, they're the ones deciding who succeeds and who fails. It is that arbitrary and insane. And I noticed that a lot of the greatest channels at least the ones that are most interesting to me, have the least number of subscribers. And you think this is a criminally underrated channel. Like, how is that a thing? But that actually tends to be very common. And so I just find it all like annoying and not a pleasant experience anymore. So I won't be putting and investing as much time into this as I used to. I hope everybody's okay with that. Plus, I think you all know I am working really hard to get the documentary completed. In post-production, you realize that there were things that maybe there's things that maybe you forgot to do, or maybe you didn't get enough footage of, where you realize, oh no, I'm not done shooting. I thought I was in post-production. Now that I'm in post-production, I realize I need more footage. I have to go back to this place. I need more B-roll footage of that person and that person. Now I have to make another trip. Well, that costs money. Then you have to find, like, there's a lot that goes into this. I know people have been waiting for a long time and have been very patient, have been supporting and are wondering, when is it coming out? Blah, 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 blah. It seems like it never ends. Trust me, I know, I hear you. I appreciate your support, your generous support, and I appreciate your patience. It is a lot. Like, we're in post-production, but we also have realized we need more B-roll footage, so I have to go back to Michigan. I have to do at least one other trip to get more B-roll footage, or you just don't have a documentary. You don't have a story if you don't have enough footage to tell it, right? Like, It's a lot. I don't want to bore you guys with the details and I don't want to give everything away. So I'll just say that we're doing very well. But like I'm focused on that because that is providing something that is tangible at the end of the day. It's going to be a film that everybody can share, everybody can watch. Like you get something in return for that investment. A film that will be there forever and that will make a big impact, in my opinion. We're talking about the level of quality of like something you would see on Netflix, like a Netflix documentary, but with like none of the budget, none of the team, none of the anything. And I could get it done quicker. I could hire more people if I raise more money, but what we've been able to raise, like we've not even met half of our goal for fundraising. We have done a lot. Don't get me wrong. I am so grateful for what we have met, but that is nothing as far as budget goes for doing a documentary of that quality. So we're working with very little. And so it takes a long time to get it done. We could get it faster if we raise more money. I'm just saying that. For people who are wondering, when is it going to be done? When is it going to be done? Well, if we had more resources, we could get it done faster. But you just have to work with what you have. And so, yeah. I don't know, this was long and rambling. I just wanted to put this out there and I wanted to get your thoughts. Do you find yourself watching YouTube less and content creators less and just feeling disillusioned with the entire thing, or am I just crazy? All right, bye.